lately I just haven't been able to make as many videos as I would like to because of the smoke in the air, and then we've got this weird, outrageously hot weather we've been having, like 114 degrees the other day. This is the hottest it's ever been here where I live. This has really given me a new understanding for all of you people, mostly from the South, who emailed me and tell me that you just can't get any woodworking done in the summertime because it's just too hot, and I can fully understand what that's like now. It makes me better appreciate where I am and what I have, and you know, basically it's room temperature here all year round. So today there's just this bizarre red glow everywhere. I'm gonna take the camera out here and show you. That's actually the sun right there, and it's just shrouded in this haze of smoke, and it's completely red. It looks like sunset, really, except here it is like almost 11 o'clock in the morning. And we're still deep in the lockdown here in Northern California. It just goes on and on. Ugh, I'm exhausted. Brought the tree into the room here to see how it's gonna fit, because I've got a lot of different options here on how I can twist it. So we spent a lot of time trying to figure out which is going to fit best. I like having this kind of big branch here, area for them to climb on. This one we decided I'll have to cut this off right about here so that these curtains can come through there. But I think with this here and this one over here, I should be able to build a platform that connects to the wall, and then I guess I'll put a platform maybe up on this one too, and that should connect to an upper platform up here. It'll go all the way to those. I got some cardboard pieces and tried to mock up where I think the platforms could go. So I think this one can sit up here. I'll have to do a notch here, probably make it a more organic shape. And then this will be like the lowest platform here that just curves around here. And I'd like to have this one extend out here a little bit so they could sit there and look out the window. So the problem here is to get them from here up to here. So I think a circle around this one. I guess I just cut a circle and then just cut it in half and somehow join it around there. So they could go boom, boom, boom. And then I want one way up here, another circle somehow. They've got to have a way to get from here up to here. This is actually turning out to be a lot trickier than I was expecting it to be because of just the odd shape of a tree. And I think after giving this a lot of consideration, the only way I can approach this is kind of from an organic point of view, like the tree itself. I can't approach this like a regular woodworking project where I would just take accurate measurements and then cut everything nice and precisely. I think it's going to be a lot of just working with the branches and trying to get these platforms to fit. To that end, what I did was those cardboard pieces I had lined up there, I took pictures of those, and then I just drew out dimensions of where I think these slots should go and how it should fit on there. And that'll just kind of give me a baseline to start with. I haven't really figured out how I'm going to attach like the platforms around these areas. I think though if I just cut a circle in two pieces and then I can put it back together, there'll have to be like a brace underneath it that I can just screw up in there, and I think that will hold it together and screw it into the branch, something like that. I'm not really sure. I know that the base is going to be square with the wall. It butts right up against the wall, so I can use that as a reference to make sure that I've got this square. Let's see if I can level this off a little bit. I cut out this strip to attach underneath like this. Obviously I'll have to screw this in place once it's around the tree, but I can pre-drill the holes right now. Okay, I'm already seeing a problem here. If I have it all the way across, this isn't going to be square to the wall. Yeah, you know what I gotta do is cut this piece down over here. I brought this back up into the room to see how it fits, and I can tell where I'm gonna have to cut some off here. I'd also like to put a cap on it over here that would match the front, and then another one on the front that raises up a little bit. So I'm gonna need to cut this back, and I also need to take this back this way quite a bit because that base here should be up against the wall, so I need to take that much off. I think the easiest way to do this is just to unscrew this here rather than have to move the entire tree back to the shop. Yeah, that's much better. So that way, that can fit completely up against the wall here, and then the base also fits up against the wall. Well, somehow I managed to spend hours trying to get this next platform right. I had to abandon my first idea of that lower platform because there wouldn't be any way for the cats to jump onto the upper platform. So, after a lot of trial and error with cardboard pieces and actual pieces, I cut out a template using some 1/8" plywood, and it seems to work. I'm gonna try it out. I don't have a good feeling about this. I don't want to say I got a bad feeling about this, but I just don't have a good feeling about this. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is, I think the best way to do this is attach this thing to the wall rather than the tree. So it's gonna fit on here, somewhere up in here, and I can put a bracket underneath on this wall and then on this wall, and then over here they've got a platform to sit. They can look out the window and jump up to this upper tier, which will be attached to the tree and the wall. But I need to sand this down a little bit smoother, and I need to come up with a L-shaped bracket system. I think I'll just make that out of wood. I'll have a bracket here attaching to the wall and then one over here to provide plenty of support. But I'm gonna save all of that for tomorrow because I was starting to get a little bit frustrated working on this, and you can see the mess I've made here. I'm gonna clean that up before I go into the house for the day. But there's one thing I've learned over the years is if you ever start to feel a little bit frustrated working on a project, give it a rest for the day. I don't have a due date. I'm not under any kind of time constraint. So if I give this a rest, it'll give me time to think about it, and then I'll be able to approach it all fresh and new tomorrow. And really, it's always these weird one-off oddball projects that pose the most problems, but it's good to face those challenges too. Good morning. You know what time it is? This is 8 o'clock in the morning. It should be sunny. The sun should be right about here in the sky right now, and I've got all of the lights on in the house because it's just so dark out, and then this just weird eerie red glow. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. Just to shoot this, I had to boost the ISO on my camera up to 12,800, which is the highest it will go. Otherwise, it would just be too dark. This is probably gonna be really grainy footage. I always take the cats outside for about an hour in the morning, and I sit with them as they kind of wander around the yard, and I think this is even kind of freaking them out a little bit. There's Cobra. Just when I thought this year couldn't get any more bizarre, here we are.